Here we go.
Okay, good morning everyone.
Good morning.
Welcome to our presentation. Today we will talk about youth culture in England. Anyway, what do you think of about England youth culture? What do you think of? Pop music?
Oh, yeah.
Or soccer?
Beatles.
Or some of Beatles, yeah. So today we will talk you three topics. First, Tsubasa will talk you about the entertainment in youth culture. Second, Atsushi will talk you about the media. Finally, I will talk you about the fashion in England. So first, Tsubasa will talk you about the entertainment. So please listen carefully.
Hello everyone. As Itsuki said, I researched on entertainment in England. I focused on 3 points of entertainment in England. The first is music. England is a famous place of music. As you know, rock music, jazz, and Eurobeat is a famous, old famous music in England. Some of musicians is success in all in the world. But music trend is another musical style, pop and heavy metal, and rap and punk. Children wearing some mischievous clothes and do show their identity through the music. Music style have changed for a decade. Rock, jazz, Eurobeat have took place on pop, punk, and heavy metal. Music has a deep relationship with the youth culture. The government suggested the national plan for music education because music has deep relationship with deep relationship with education. Second is sports. These sports are famous in England. Cricket is national sports in England, and tennis is famous as Wimbledon. Do you know Wimbledon? Wimbledon is championship. It is called the championship, but the most famous sport is soccer. In England, soccer called football, not soccer, but football. And the most, according to the governmental surveys, the times to go football stadium is more than going to church. Yes, for a week. And uniform design have some uniforms design have message. For example, abolish discrimination and relationship. Friendship. If you go England, you can see this thing skateboarder. And stand up is famous leisure. In 1980s, skateboard appeared. Many boys enjoyed skating on the street. Stand art is educational for childhood. In the point, creativity, imagination, and logical thinking and confidence. Third is bar and disco. In daytime, bar and disco is used as a cafeteria. But at night, the bar and disco is a becomes special place. And the purpose of disco and bar relax and meet friends, business discussion, and forget their sorrows. There are little difference between bar and disco. The main purpose of bar is talking, watching sports game, eating and drinking. Disco, the purpose of disco are dancing and drinking. This is the difference.
Okay, thank you, Tsubasa. He just explained about the entertainment in England. He talked about the music, sports, and bar and disco. Okay, next, Afshi will talk you about the media in England.
Thank you, Steve. I researched about media in England, and first, I will talk about SNS in England. In Japan, most popular SNS is Mixi, but in England, most young people are using Facebook. And Weibo, which was popular among children, and MySpace, which was top SNS of the world, were in the past. And MySpace lost top in 29, and Facebook became top SNS of the world. Recently, in England, cell phone which can access to the internet have finally widespread. But so some young people use cell phone and check Facebook on the cell phone. But because of the price problem, most England young people use PC to check the Facebook. And the brand-based broadcasting in England, 5 channels: BBC One, BBC Two, ITV, and Channel 4, Channel 5. BBC is state-run broadcasting and in England, and NHK in Japan was made based on BBC. But England's young people don't watch this program on TV because they watch TV on the PC. They can watch BBC, ITV, Channel 4 on the internet because these 3 stations put their TV programs on their own homepage, so they can watch this TV program on internet. In Japan, center of media among young people is mobile phone, but in England, PC is center of media among young people, and the fusion of TV and internet has been standard. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Afshi. He just explained about the media in England. He said so many young people use Facebook in England. Okay. Okay. Finally, I will talk you about the fashion in England. Okay. I will talk you fashion, especially between 19th centuries and around the 1960s. First, why was the youth fashion occurred in England? This is because in the 19th centuries, the lifestyle in England changed, country life to urban life. So many young people wanted to resist the society, and also they wanted to feel their identity. So I will talk you about five styles of fashion. First, hooligan. It is not the violent action in the circus stadium. It is a fashion style. It is occurred about in the end of the 19th centuries. Young people wrapped their scarf around the neck, and also they put on the hat, big hat. Someone wore long pants, and the steel belt, and big boots. This is a picture of hooligan. It is the latest fashion in those days. Okay. Second, titty boy. Titty boy has occurred around 1950s. Young people wore very long jacket and tight pants. This style was called drape jacket and drain pipe. Also, they put the flashy or brightly colored socks and boots. This style has a model. The model is Edward VII. He is a king in England around the 19th centuries. So this is a picture. It is like as in 19th century, so it is an old fashion. Okay. Third, rockers. Rockers has occurred in the 19th centuries around 1960s. It has occurred around the group of young rock musicians. It is a rock musicians group. They wore leather jacket and leather pants. Also, they rode a big bike. Finally, I will talk about the Beatles. Beatles liked this style. However, before their debuting, this is a picture of rockers. They rode a big bike. Yeah. Okay. Against the rockers, moths has occurred in the 1950s and 1960s. This style of fashion is the opposite style of the rockers. They cut down their hair and they wore Italian suit and a kind of parka. Also, they rode a scooter. Also, the Beatles adapted this style after their debuting. So, Beatles changed their fashion style. This is a picture of moths. So, moth remains now in Japan, in Nara, especially in Nara. Okay. Okay. Finally, I will talk about skinhead. So many people knows about skinhead. So also it remains now, also in Japan. It has occurred around the 1960s. They shaved their old hair, and they wore button-up suits and clothes. Also, someone they tattooed on their arm or their neck or someone their back. However, after the 1970s and 1980s, there are few youth fashion. Why? Because the poets banned their fashion style. Also, the society in England is much better than before, so they don't need to explain their identity. So there are few youth fashion after the 1970s. Okay, this is okay, that's all. So if you have a question, please raise your hand and ask us your question. Yeah.
Please
Yeah.
show me before future in fashion.
Yeah. Before?
Before.
Before.
Maybe
Before?
drape fashion.
Yeah, drape. Yeah.
Do you know the meaning of drape?
Drape means in Japanese yuttaritosita or yufukuna.
Ah.
Yeah. It is not mean yuttaritosita, but yufukuna.
Rich.
Yeah, rich or wealthy. It is a kind of meaning. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you have any questions? Yeah.
I want to ask you
Yeah.
that children wear mischievous clothes. What is that?
I think mischievous means itazura in Japanese. Bad kids.
Mischievous
Sorry.
clothes.
Which one? Which one?
Like this.
Ah, okay. Thank you.
How is that mischievous?
So repeat.
So mischievous means like a bad kid.
Yeah.
Mischievous, playing games, things like that. Okay, not bad, but like trickster, or that's mischievous. Okay, so how are those clothes mischievous? For example, the shirt is open.
They wearing loose.
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 Okay.
Big clothes.
Okay. Good.
Okay. So, do you have any questions? Yeah.
I have a question about fashion.
Fashion. Yeah.
What fashion is the most popular among
What
young
fashion?
people?
Okay. I don't have any researches or statistics, but I think the mode is very famous because it is introduced in Japan or many countries. So now it remains in Japan, mode style. So it is the most famous. Mode is most famous. Yeah. I think.
Mods is most famous in England now.
Yeah, in England and in Japan, it remains both countries.
I see.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions?
I have a question.
Yeah.
About skinhead fashion.
Skinhead, yeah. This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that? Because it looks like a lot of those guys have hair. Right?
So,
The skinhead shave their head, but this picture
Yeah,
has men with hair.
yeah, I wanted to get a skinhead picture involve this, but I can't get this picture. So I want to show you about the involve this picture. So I picked up this picture.
I see.
So wait.
And what are they wearing? With the pants, what are they wearing? Like blue jeans?
They, especially some of the pants, all of them wear the pants.
Right, but some of them look like they have jeans, blue jeans.
Yeah, these are blue jeans. So many of them wore the suits or pants, but someone wore the blue jeans or blue any color jeans. Someone wore. Do you have any questions?
Yes, they do. Yes, they have questions.
Yeah. Do you have any questions?
What's Beatles' fashion before change their fashion?
Their fashion? Before they changed their fashion, they adapted the lockers like this one. It's a very low, big bag.
Diesel.
I don't think they didn't say they didn't make a ribbon. Yeah.
The hair is very important for rockers. For rockers, it's really important to have the hair. Can I ask a question?
Yes.
You said society
Yeah.
banned certain fashion style.
Police ban.
How did they do that? How did the police ban a style?
They don't. They didn't make a law about this one, but they tell young people not to make a new fashion style because this is not good for society because sometimes they behave badly with fashion, so the police warned of them not to make a new fashion and they not to behave badly.
Right. So let me make sure I understand.
Yeah.
The police tell young people,
Yeah.
don't wear these clothes, it's bad.
Yeah.
And the young people said, okay.
Yeah. Someone said okay, but most of them didn't say okay. So this is because, for example, moths and skinheads are now remain.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, a big part of youth culture is rebellion. Do you know that? No? Rebel? What is rebellion? Do you know?
No.
No? Okay. So rebellion is someone tells you, don't do this, and you do it anyway.
Yeah.
That's rebellion. Or someone says, do this, and you say, no. That's rebellion. Okay? And rebellion is, I think, an important part of the life of youth because they are learning what's right and what's wrong. And if it's wrong, how much is it wrong? Is it a little bit wrong or is it a lot wrong? And that's part of, I think, rebellion. So,
Yeah.
good.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Why did Beatles change their clothes? They are affected by the boom or Beatles make.
Made new fashion.
Yeah, and the people in England affected by the fashion.
I think, yeah, I didn't research about this story, but probably they changed the style of fashion is because the boom is changed the lockers to modes. Yeah. Hey, do you have any questions? Yeah.
May I just take the picture of the sand art?
Sorry?
Sand art.
Sand art, yeah.
That's right.
This one?
Is that the American flag?
Oh.
Isn't that?
Any other countries people going to the England
Yeah.
and some foreign country people gathered on the beach and barbecue and swimming. After that, they make some castle and something. It has developed and sand art.
Are there for some contest or something?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any questions? Okay, thank you for listening.
Good job.